Welcome back to Headz SA, the channel where we unpack the biggest stories shaking Mzansi. And right now, the Gayton McKenzie racism storm is showing no signs of slowing down. Remember, the South African Human Rights Commission gave the Minister of Sports, Arts and Culture until Wednesday to issue a public apology for those resurfaced tweets branded as racist. But McKenzie, he's not backing down. He insists these tweets are being misunderstood, saying there's no way he is racist. Even more, McKenzie claims the South African Human Rights Commission's letter demanding an apology never even got to him. The only way he saw it was through social media.
Has gone to the media with all the letters. They never wrote to me. My spokesperson. Every statement I take out, the spokesperson number is there. I belong to a party that has a secretary general. I've got a private secretary. I've got a secretary in my office. But they were playing politics. They were going to the media with statements, with letters that they wrote to me. I never received those letters. We found that letter 4 days from a PA, from one person that works at the Department of Sport, Arts and Culture. The humiliation of a junior worker coming with a letter that was meant for me. That's such a personal thing that I have to answer questions.
Now, he's calling this a political campaign against him, warning that some people are scared that he could run for president in 2029. But according to him, his mindset right now is locked on the duties President Cyril Ramaphosa has entrusted him with.
Listen, I'm guilty of many things. Racism, never. This is a campaign because people are scared in their minds. They think I'm running for president in 2029. And now they are trying already to eliminate me from the race. I am not even thinking along those lines. I'm thinking of doing the job that my president has tasked me to do.
And here's the latest twist. McKenzie says he's ready to take the Human Rights Commission head on. He's promising to have his day in court, questioning how the South African Human Rights Commission could reach a verdict about him without even hearing his side of the story. He's making it clear he's not going down quietly.
I'm not a lawyer, but one thing I know about the law is you have to hear both sides. Before they could hear my side, they already said there's prima facie evidence that he's guilty. They already said, what is my sentence going to be? Did the judge, the jury, the executioner, the sentencer, except the investigator? I look forward to my day in court, where I will cross-examine them.
This raises big questions. Is McKenzie being unfairly targeted, or is he simply avoiding accountability? And if this battle goes to court, it could set the stage for much bigger political showdown in South Africa. So Mzansi, where do you stand? Should McKenzie apologize and put this behind him, or is he right to fight the South African Human Rights Commission in court? Drop your views in the comments below. Smash that like button and subscribe for more updates. You are tuned in to Headz Up SA, bringing you the stories that matter.
Interesting times, and I think there is merit to the public demanding that he be held to account, right? And this is done around the background of the removal of the previous Ronaldo. I mean, he also had remarks that were anti-black to some extent, and what that taught us is that it has created a precedent that people who think in that manner and in that way have no place in leadership, especially within the South African context. So I think there is merit to people wanting him to be held accountable, because such kind of thinking and use of language is unacceptable. Worse, coming from somebody who claims to be rehabilitated, it actually shows that the rehabilitation has not taken place.
As someone, as a public figure, unfortunately, within the Patriotic Alliance itself, he is in control, him and Kenny Kunene, so nobody's going to expel him. But I think the president can act properly. He's basically gotten rid of several people for much less than this. And it's something that I think most South Africans, if they look at it honestly, would realize that this is something that we cannot accept right now. It doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter what color you are. When you use the K word in that context, it is unacceptable and should be punishable.
Cannot have different standards for different people, right? What we are saying is this is a kind of language that does not build a country. This is a kind of language that literally violates, even if we want to go the whole legalistic route, it violates multiple legal and ethical frameworks. Number one, the Constitution. Number two, it even violates the Executive Members Ethics Act, and so he should be held to accountable. We can't just be extending grace to somebody who is not who's not being held responsible for his actions and his language. We don't have space for such language within the country. We can't tolerate it.
Know who would be reviewed to be the best possible replacement from the PA. That would be up to them if they would continue that arrangement. But I think we have to have some moral backbone. Our president has to show some kind of principle. If we can't have a situation where we say that our constitutional values, our Bill of Rights, our hate speech laws don't mean anything because of political expediency, because you want to continue to basically have the GNU as it is. Sometimes prices have to be paid for taking a moral stand, and this is what we learned from the past. So I think in this case, many people would support our president if he took action. And I think, in fact, some people within Gayton McKenzie's own party would possibly support him as well. He's made a mistake, and there must be consequences. And I think the larger question here
is corrosive, actually, to the principles upon which our democracy is built, right? It actually spews bias and prejudice. And we need to be able to call each other out when we find ourselves engaging with one another with such kind of language, because it actually puts other people on the other side of the spectrum where they're on the receiving end of prejudice, discrimination, and marginalization. And I don't think we should have that within the context of South Africa. There's no space for that.
Mm-hmm. And Brian, let's talk about the fact that, of course, when he started this whole thing, it was criticism against a certain podcast, right? And looking at what was said there versus some of the tweets that we've now seen, of course, that have come back to the fore, a lot of people have been calling the minister a hypocrite, but he's still defending those tweets that they were not meant in that context. But how are we supposed to interpret these tweets, specifically as Black South Africans?
Actually, those tweets, we cannot ignore them. He did make those utterances. He did make those assertions on that platform, and we need to hold him accountable. Actually, what he did say then, actually, if you look at it from somebody who's positioned himself as a defender of the colored community, in response to the insensitive remarks that have been made, what he did then is actually even more worse than what the podcaster did, actually, if you look at it, right? He knows better, and much is expected of him, and we can't allow him to go around masquerading like that. So he has to take full accountability and full responsibility for his words back then. And I think this is why the public went and dug those things, because now he's displaying double standards. Right, he's displaying double standards, and I think South Africa is just saying to him, "Listen, take it easy," and they're going to hold him to account. So that grace.
The Human Rights Commission has gone to the media with all the letters. They never wrote to me. My spokesperson. Every statement I take out, the spokesperson number is there. I belong to a party that has a secretary general. I've got a private secretary. I've got a secretary in my office, but they were playing politics. They were going to the media with statements, with letters that they wrote to me. I never received those letters. We found that letter 4 days from a PA, from one person that works at the Department of Sport, Arts and Culture. The humiliation of a junior worker coming with a letter that was meant for me. That's such a personal thing that I have to answer questions. Is that the Human Rights Commission? I'm not a lawyer, but one thing I know about the law is you have to hear both sides. Before they could hear my side, they already said there's prima facie evidence that he's guilty. They already said, what is my sentence going to be? They the judge, the jury, the executioner, the sentencer, except the investigator. I look forward to my day in court where I will cross-examine them. You can accuse me of many things. Listen, I'm guilty of many things. Racism, never. This is a campaign because people are scared in their minds. They think I'm running for president in 2029. And now they are trying already to eliminate me from the race. I am not even thinking along those lines. I'm thinking of doing the job that my president has tasked me to do.
SAHRC Commissioner Edward Kieswetter says the Revenue Service is on track to meet its targets, with a key meeting with the Finance Minister scheduled for tomorrow to provide an update on the